Joe Eschbacher, live in the University City area, and this year I was working with a little girl in kindergarten, Captain Elementary School. Well, one of my goals after retiring was to find opportunities to kind of give back and do some good. And I've always been alarmed by the decline in literacy. And so I felt that being able to help children gain literacy skills would be probably the best use of my time and something that I would enjoy doing. My little kindergartner didn't want to read out loud. She didn't want to trace her finger under the words. She wanted me to read it to her. And over the course of the year, we took baby steps. But in the last 3 to 4 weeks, she wanted to read words from the book. And on the very last day, she wanted to read 3 books in our session. So I felt like great. We made some progress, and I felt good for her that she began to feel more enthusiasm for reading. Well, we started out kind of on a rocky road. And actually, after the first 3 weeks or so, I was questioning if I should even do this or could do this. In the first 3 weeks or so, she was pushing back. A couple of times, she actually insulted me. But, I felt like, okay, I'm going to keep at it. And gradually, she began to warm up. And so the challenge for me was to persevere and to find ways to get her to engage more positively. And so I just used a lot of open questions. And wherever she gave me an opportunity to let her have control appropriately, I would ask her questions, and then I asked her to take charge of things. And she gradually began to, build trust with me, and things began to improve from there. Well, she would start out on a really positive track. We'd get a book from the library, we'd sit down, but she was a very active little girl. And so in the middle of reading a book one time, she jumped up, fell to the floor on all fours, and began hissing like a cat and prancing around. And I said, are you a cat now? And she said, yeah, I just love cats. I said, well, why don't you come sit by me? And she went up and sat kind of like a cat, and we started reading again. I felt like a kindergarten teacher was really a good resource to me because she was very open and volunteered feedback on her observations of my little student as our sessions progressed through the year. And she told me that she had become more planful. She was starting to make sure of what day it was during the weeks because she wanted to be sure that she was aware of the day that I would be there. And that she was a little bit calmer on the days that I was there. And that ultimately she felt like the student was responding to time with me away from her classmates, and that she felt that the little girl was, quote unquote, really being seen. And that was beneficial to her. It's so rewarding to see a child warming up, that you're building this relationship and they're beginning to engage. And although as Oasis tutors, we're not responsible for changes in performance metrics in reading, but seeing them drop a hesitancy, for instance, to go up to the library and pick up a book, or to begin sounding out words when they were resistant to that kind of progress is rewarding for me as a tutor, but it's also very helpful for the student to begin getting comfortable and enjoy those crucial life skills. I think the training initially that we got from Oasis and the packet of tested and proven materials were invaluable. I was raised in a very orderly, rules-based, disciplined family, a big family. So we had to kind of keep things in order. And so I went into it with certain expectations about if you do this, you get that result. And the training and the materials gave me a chance to kind of rewire my expectations and to, as I said, persevere beyond the first problematic 3 weeks. The journal that was provided was very helpful, where I could keep track of what we were doing each session and see the progress over time. The booklet that was all about the student was invaluable in terms of opening up dialogue with her and letting it be about her, tell me what she liked, what was important in her life. And then I could refer back to that, and it built trust because she felt like I was paying attention. I was beginning to know who she was. And so those materials were great. The standalone meetings with other tutors and the sessions that were organized by Oasis and the school districts, well, I think were invaluable because we could get together, we could share war stories, we could hear from experts what strategies may be worthwhile trying, and all of that really helped move the process forward in a good way. But as far as where you go from here, I would say that if anybody's considering it, absolutely do it. It's very rewarding for me as a tutor. It was great to see progress in the student and know that they're taking important steps in gaining these life skills. And the other observation that not only I had, but a couple of the other guys in the program had, is that if you're a male and you're watching this and you're considering being a tutor, definitely do it. We need more men in the program because one final anecdote, whenever I would walk my student from the library back to her classroom where all the students were having quiet time, whenever I went into her classroom, 2 or 3 little boys would come up and say, "Mr. Joe, look at my airplane that I made," or "Look at this that I'm doing." And it was clear that these little boys would really benefit from one-on-one time with male tutors, and they were actively kind of hungering for that. So if you're a guy and you're watching this, definitely get involved with the program.